who do you people think you're fooling?
I don't think we're fooling
Who do
anybody.
you people think you're fooling?
So the people who
I answered your
prepared the
question.
reports.
I answered the question.
I'm
The
trying to
question is no.
understand it, Royce. The
The
people who
question is no.
prepared the
The
reports.
answer is no.
The
The
people
answer
who
to your question is no.
I haven't even asked the question yet.
You did. You asked, did I spend campaign finance money on strippers? The
And
answer
you
is
responded, and now I want to ask a follow-up.
no. Self-described Republican centrist Anna Navarro sat
Anna
right up there.
Navarro says that men aren't useful.
Anna Navarro sat right up there on The View with Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg and the rest of them, and she made a joke about men not being useful except for gay men because they're very good at gossip and accessorizing.
But
she said it right there on national
we started this
television.
interview with you saying, oh, what you said about women being mouthy is a joke. You're conceding what Anna Navarro said is a joke. And so you're one example.
Well, no, I don't
Hold
think
on
it's
a
a
second.
joke.
Let me get the question out,
I don't
Royce.
know. I don't think
Hold
it's
on
a
second,
joke.
Royce.
What is up, everyone? In this clip, David Pakman absolutely loses it in this epic interview where Royce White, a fearless MAGA supporter, dismantles every tired talking point the left loves to cling to. From feminism to drag shows and even campaign finance, Royce doesn't just hold his ground, he dominates this conversation. And Pakman, as usual, is clearly outmatched and resorts to interruptions and spin, but by the end, it's all too much for him. Let's get into this clip and break it down piece by piece. As always, let's get into it.
Hold on. You
No,
just
wait
said
a
it's a
second.
joke.
Let's be clear. No, I didn't. I said what I said was said in humor, but it had a lot of validity to it. I don't think what Anna Navarro said was a joke, even though it was said in a joking setting.
How do you know it wasn't a joke then?
No, I said I don't think it's a joke.
Okay.
Just like people would say they don't think what I said is a joke. I have the right to think that. My point is that there is a growing ideology that you can see by looking at social media, which is a good temperature gauge of what people think, obviously, because you're bringing up something I said that was posted on social media.
Well, I don't want to get bogged down in this necessarily, but it sounds, Royce,
No, it's
like
not.
you're
No,
one
it's not
example.
bogged down. It's important detail.
It sounds like you're one detail of the prevailing view of the feminist movement being men aren't useful is something Anna Navarro said jokingly. Is that right?
No. Anna Navarro, just like you're trying to represent my views, or let's not say you, let's say the mainstream media has tried to represent my view about women in general based on one soundbite from one podcast as a general sort of
yeah, but forget about that, Royce.
Let's not forget about it. No, let's not forget about it. If you're going to keep interrupting me, then I'm going to keep interrupting you. What I'm saying is that the mainstream media, no, you're saying it's not going anywhere. I'm explaining it perfectly fine. The mainstream media is trying to depict or paint a picture of a rising, let's say, misogynist America First movement based on my one soundbite. But then you turn around and say, well, you can't talk about all feminist ideology based on Anna Navarro. What are we talking about? I'm not,
no,
first of all, I'm not doing that.
Let's see if we can reframe, Royce, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
You've sort of been leading this, okay? You identified a number of groups. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me just get the question out. And then if you disagree with the question, then the audience can judge for themselves. Okay. You indicated a number of groups. You named women, and you named Jews, and you named others
Blacks
that are making
and the
it so that
LGBTQ.
being an American citizen is no longer super important. We focused
Hold on a second, Royce. Women, I gotta be the able LGBTQ, to get the and Jews. I want to be clear.
Hold on a sec.
Don't say in other groups. Don't say and other groups. The four groups were blacks, the LGBTQ, women, and Jews.
Yes. We focused in on women.
Yes.
And I asked you for examples. And the one example that you have provided to justify the claim you made is something Anna Navarro said on The View.
No, just an example.
Well, give me another example. Who are the people saying that men are not useful?
Oh, well, they're not. Well, that just happened to be what Anna Navarro said specifically.
But you said that that's ideology. Who says
the ideology is that men represent the remnant of a tyrannical patriarchy, and by default, the usefulness of men is in question at a societal-wide basis.
Okay. I don't want to use all our time on this, but it sounds like we're not going to get any more examples, and the audience can kind of judge that for themselves.
Hey, you can pick anybody you want. The whole Me Too movement was based on the claim that we should believe all women. Do you think we should believe all women?
And here we go, the infamous "Believe All Women" slogan. Let's break this down because it's a perfect example of how the left twists a good idea into something ridiculous. Of course, we should take accusations seriously, no one disputes that, but believing anyone without evidence, that is not justice, it is a mob rule. Think about it. If someone accused you of something tomorrow, would you want people to assume you're guilty just because of a hashtag? The Me Too movement started off with good intentions, but it veered into dangerous territory when it abandoned the cornerstone of American justice: innocent until proven guilty. Royce is right to call this out because the court of public opinion can be just as destructive as a courtroom, if not worse. Let me know if you guys would agree down in the comments below as well.
Well, that we've already talked about. It's a completely different question, and it has to do with
no,
what
it's
is the
not.
responsibility
No, it's just,
of police
no. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second.
It has nothing whatever.
Wait a second.
Whatever
It's not a different question. It's not a different question at all. It certainly does, because there are fundamental rights of being an American citizen, one of which has always been the presumption of innocence. Number one. So there is complete merit to bring it into question when we talk about American citizenship.
Royce, you understand that when police investigate crimes, they investigate crimes, but that doesn't take away the presumption of innocence in a court of law. Like, this is basic legal stuff, Royce.
No. It takes away the presumption of innocence in the court of public opinion.
But this is crazy.
It takes away the presumption of innocence in the court of public opinion, which now in today's world can be just as dangerous as the opinion in the court of law. And even for
false rape claims are 0.02% of all sexual assault claims.
According to you. According to
crime reporting from police departments all over the country.
According to you and
the police departments.
According to you, then why don't they bring more claims?
Who?
Why don't more make it to the courtroom?
What claims?
Because they lack evidence. The reason why police departments say, first of all, again, you're trying to sidetrack me and you keep interrupting me. You brought me on your show.
You created this sidetrack.
You brought me on your show. You brought me on your show.
And we're not
asked me about a question about women. I'm answering a question about feminists in the feminist movement.
Hold on, Royce. You
the point is when you assume that all women are telling the truth, or that we should believe all women on face value, by default,
I don't know anyone who has said that.
The whole movement of the whole Me Too movement was based on this idea that believe all women.
That's your assertion. I don't believe that to be true.
Oh, okay. Well, you let your viewers decide then. Let's go to the next question.
Trust but verify is the view that I've always had.
Believe all women was the commercial, widespread commercial. Believe all women was the widespread commercial and cultural sentiment from the Me Too movement, 150,000%.
You know, Royce, you sidetracked us on believe all women, right? You brought it up out of nowhere.
The believe all women idea is a part of the claim that women have become mouthy.
Okay. Let me ask about a couple of other
things.
And I will say, in
that vein, when women are allowed to say things about men with no boundaries or no constraints whatsoever, and it's culturally accepted across American culture and across political culture, that is, in my opinion, more than a valid reason to be able to say, hey, women are getting out of control. And I do think radical feminists are getting out of control. I should have been more specific, but
I get the
thought I was
point
being
that
humorous.
You think women are out of control. I got it.
No. I said radical feminists are out of control. Be clear. And they are. That's why they're bringing their children to drag stripper shows.
Let me ask about a couple of things.
Do you think that's okay? Do you think it's okay to sexualize children at drag stripper shows?
This is where the conversation hits a nerve, and for good reason. Royce is asking a simple question. Why is it okay to take kids to drag shows where the content is clearly inappropriate? Let's be honest, if we were thinking about a traditional strip club, everyone would agree it's wrong. But because it's wrapped in rainbow flags and the left calls it progressive, give me a break. Protecting children isn't a partisan issue. It's common sense. The fact that Pakman can't give a straight answer here tells you everything you need to know about how far the left has fallen. They'll bend over backwards to defend the indefensible, all in the name of inclusion. Anyways, let us actually see Pakman's response here.
I don't think the children are being sexualized if they go to a drag show. No, I just don't think that that's the sexualization
you don't
of
think
children.
That you don't think children are being? Would it be okay for me as a grown adult male to take underage kids to a regular strip club?
I don't think they're allowed. No.
So why are they allowed to do it in
Royce,
but why aren't they allowed?
Royce.
Why aren't they allowed? Is it because of the alcohol or because of the sexualization?
I don't know the laws around strip clubs. I couldn't tell you.
Oh,
but Royce,
okay.
if
maybe
I
you
can
should
get
learn
a
them though, because you're
here,
talking about drag shows. You have an opinion about the drag shows, and you say that's completely fine.
Royce, you brought
right, but you have an opinion about.
I'm gonna have to mute you, Royce. I'm gonna have to mute you.
Okay.
You're bringing up topics and then telling me I brought them up. This isn't a way to be interviewed as a serious
I didn't say
person.
that. I didn't say you brought it up. I said you had an opinion about it.
You told me I brought up Believe All Women and that I brought up drag shows.
No, I
didn't.
You
brought those issues
No,
up.
I did not say that. They'll be able to watch it back and see for themselves how it went.
I didn't
say you brought it up. I brought it up. I'm going to bring up every topic I want to bring up.
Oh, so
you white liberals are not going to tell you. Yeah, I brought up the feminist movement and I brought up the drag stripper shows as an example.
Can we continue the interview?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You brought up strip clubs. It was recently revealed you spent campaign donations at a strip club. Is that true?
That's not true.
Okay. It's been sourced very well by the Daily Beast. Where did they get this information?
The Daily Beast, first of all, the Daily Beast is not a good source. That's number one. But number two, it wasn't well sourced even in that article at all. It was a reference to a campaign filing with the FEC that was not done properly.
Who didn't do the filing properly?
Whoever was in charge of the filing.
And who was that?
Well, there were a number of people, I would assume, who were in charge of getting that accounting done, but it wasn't.
You don't know who the people are doing your accounting?
Oh, yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, I know who they are. Do you want me to list the entire list of people who worked on it?
Yeah.
So you have time for me to go through a list of people who worked on the filing, but you don't have time to talk about the details of the political issues you want to discuss?
Well, how many people is it?
Give me a break. Who do you people think you're fooling?
I don't think we're fooling anybody.
Who do you people think you're fooling?
This is an amazing question by Royce. Who do you think you are fooling? And the answer is simple, no one. The left has been playing this game for decades, dressing up bad ideas in nice sounding slogans and hoping no one notices the cracks. More people are waking up now than ever before. This isn't 2008 anymore. You can't just repeat the same tired lines and expect everyone to nod along. We're living in the information age where lies get fact-checked in real time. If Pakman thinks he's fooling anyone with his pseudo-intellectual gymnastics, he's got another thing coming.
So the people who prepared
I answered your question.
The reports...
I answered the question.
I'm trying to understand it, Royce. The people who prepared the reports...
The answer is no. The answer to your question is no.
I haven't even asked the question yet.
You did. You asked, did I spend campaign finance money on strippers?
And you responded, and now I want to ask a follow-up.
Okay.
Your claim is there were filings which said you spent campaign funds at a strip club, but they were incorrect filings.
No, they didn't say that I spent the funds at a strip club. Or no, let's say they didn't say that I spent the funds on strippers.
But it was spent at a strip club.
Well, strip club they sell food at the strip club, don't they?
So you've spent the money on food at a strip club. Is that more accurate?
You seem to be very unfamiliar with strippers and strip clubs and drag strip shows. So I'll inform you, maybe you aren't informed, that they do have food at strip clubs.
So what you're saying is the money was spent
at a strip club. No, wait, did you know that though?
Club.
Did you know that?
I know strip clubs have restaurants.
Have you ever been to a strip club?
One time.
Did you like the food?
No.
You got to go to better strip clubs then.
Okay. But so what you're saying is you did spend the money at strip clubs, but on food. Is that right?
Well, I'm not saying that I spent the money. I'm saying that there was a filing on my FEC report that shouldn't have been there and potentially should have been reimbursed by somebody who may have been at the strip club, but that there is food at the strip club. So to say it was spent on strippers is not based on factual evidence.
I didn't say that.
Especially not from the day you did.
I said it's strip club, not strippers.
No, well, okay. Well,
that's
what's implied by the Daily Beast.
It's the same thing you're saying, right? So we agree.
But that's what's been implied by the Daily Beast and other people as well.
Money was spent at a strip club by someone else in your campaign on food.
That's what's been implied by the Daily Beast and other mainstream media outlets as well.
And what's the truth?
I just told you.
Someone else bought food at a strip club with campaign funds.
No, I told you about the FEC filing. You seem to have a lot of time for this one.
Well, it's because you're so obviously lying.
Okay. I'm so obviously lying?
Yeah, just tell me the truth. So did a staffer spend money on food at a strip club?
You white liberals have a lot of nerve.
That's identity politics.
You white liberals hate when black men vote Republican. You hate when black men say that they like being American citizens.
Boom, Rice just said what we are all thinking. The left absolutely despises black conservatives because they destroy the narrative that Democrats own the minority vote. And you see every time someone like Royce or Candace Owens speaks out, they're labeled as sellouts or tokens as if black Americans can't think for themselves. That kind of thinking isn't just patronizing polarizing, it's downright racist. The truth is, the left thrives on division. They need everyone in neat little boxes so they can play the savior. When people step out of those boxes, their whole game falls apart. Royce isn't just a threat to their ideology, he's living proof that it's crumbling.
You hate when black men say that we want to have a border. You hate when black men say, stop sending our money to the Ukraine. And you go to the WWE politics to try and defend your latent racism. That's what it is.
Hold on a second, Royce. Aren't you against identity politics?
Absolutely.
So what are you talking about white liberals for, especially when
what do you mean?
I'm a Hispanic Jewish immigrant from Argentina?
Yeah, right, but you have a white liberal ideology. That's what's funny about it.
Oh, that's something different. All right, Royce, listen, when you start hurling stuff around like that, we do have to end the interview.
You have a post-World War II democratic liberal order, white liberal ideology.
All right. The man who denounces identity politics is playing identity politics.
No, I'm not.
Royce, I really appreciate you being on today.
Your latent racism is obvious. Make sure you post the interview. Don't be a coward. And feel free to have me back on anytime so we can talk in detail where you don't cut me off. I like this kind of stuff. You people don't.
I can assure you.
You people hope that every black Republican or black America First that shows up is going to kowtow and sort of, curl up and run into the corner when you cut people off. That don't bother me.
Royce, I can assure you,
women have.
Royce, you're on a new topic now. I can assure you, we will post the interview.
Radical feminists in this country have certainly gotten way beyond the pale in terms of their ideology.
Royce,
100,000%.
You have my word.
You think it's okay to take little kids to drag stripper shows, but you don't think it's okay for grown men to get the chicken wings from strip clubs.
This is where Royce dropped the mic. Royce exposes the absurdity of the left in one perfect line. The outrage over a campaign finance filing for chicken wings is ridiculous. While the left clutches their pearls over something as petty as this, they defend kids being exposed to explicit performances in the name of inclusion. This is hypocrisy at its finest, and Pakman had no comeback because there isn't one.
Royce,
you don't think that that's weird?
It sounds like a campaign finance violation. It's not my opinion, but Royce, we got to end the interview.
You can get food for donors. You can get food for donors from anywhere in the country you want.
We got to end the interview.
I could cater from Mr. Chow's, or I could get chicken wings from a strip club. That doesn't matter. But you want to take little kids to strip clubs, drag strip clubs.
All right,
and you think that's okay.
Best of luck with the campaign, okay?
Godspeed to you.
This is why people like Royce White are such a problem for the left. He's not afraid to call out their nonsense, and he does it in a way that's impossible to ignore. Pakman spent this entire interview trying to trip him up, but in the end, he had to shut it down because he couldn't keep up. That's what happens when you bring weak arguments to a fight with someone armed with facts and conviction. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know in the comments below, did Royce deliver the knockout punch or what? We'll see you guys in the next one.